So it is quite literally, let's come over here and see, 3:57 a.m. I've been on a tech call with a client of mine in Australia. I understand he's getting frustrated because ones and zeros don't always match up. So settings on my side and settings on his side, it really feels like we're going in circles, but that's the tech support side of what I do. But anyway, back to this project. So I have got the back side of my wood, or the wood part of this project, I think pretty close to dialed in. So this image is the channels for my LED strips. Like I said, it's almost 4 a.m. So I've got the channels for my LED strips, and I've got the screw holes which match the diameter as close as possible to the drywall screws, so I can hold this piece of wood down on my router. So that's what these holes are here. We have 6 holes. I am going to have to trim the piece of wood that I've got down to size, or at least make it just a tad bit oversized. I still need to create the tool path for this inside circle. Here is going to be cut all the way through to the front side, and then this outside pocket is going to be cut down into the material, but not all the way through, so when I stick the acrylic in, it has something to rest up against, and the LED strip is going to fit around the outside diameter of that. And then when I get that done, theoretically, and I'm going to put stops on the machine on the left side, top and bottom. I'm also going to put some sort of stop on the top to where it goes here and here on the material, and then here and here. So theoretically, I can measure my piece of wood, so my Z0 or my X and Y 0 points are the center of the material, so I can use a tape measure, measure across, find the center, measure top and bottom, find the center, and I will put a dot there. That's where my X and Y on the machine is going to be. Z0 is going to be the top of the material, which I measured, and let me find my notepad, because what is the best thing for somebody with terrible memory? A freaking notepad. So this up here is for the client in Australia, so don't pay attention to this or this. So my LED strips width are 3.845 inches wide. So if we look at the strip coming off the roll, it's 3.845. So this channel here is just a tad bit bigger than that, so I can put the strips in and glue them down. And the thickness from the back side to the top side of the LEDs is 0.065 thick. So what does that mean? That means that my my acrylic circle diameter is this. This line over here that I'm going to cut as my final diameter for the pocket for this acrylic circle to fit into, but not go all the way through, is going to be just a little bit bigger than 0.065 larger than the outside diameter of the acrylic piece itself. That should allow me to glue the LED strips to where the LEDs face inward in through the acrylic and still fit in my pocket. So what do I mean by that? It's, to me, who's been doing this for a while, it's pretty self-explanatory. So I know that my wood is 0.660 or 660 or 660 thousandths thick. So if I want to make a pocket, let's just go ahead and do it. So I'm going to choose this outside diameter, which is the diameter of my plastic piece that I just cut in the last video, plus the thickness of the LED strip. I'm going to choose a pocket. And I'm going to do a start depth of 0, which is the top of my material. And knowing that my material is 0.660, I'm arbitrarily going to pick a 0.53. Let's just do that argument's sake. This is not the final version, but let's do that. I'm going to use a tool of 125 thousandths in diameter and calculate that toolpath. So here's my pocket. Now what I have to do is cut that other diameter all the way through. So and I'm using Vectric Aspire for this, in case anybody's wondering. So now what I want to do is I want to choose this, and let's come over here and go close, and I want to do a profile pass. I'm going to use the inside because I want to cut my outside diameter of my tool. I want to cut it on this radius here, and I am going to give it a cut depth. I want to go all the way through my material and give it just a little bit more so it goes all the way through. I'm going to choose, if my material thickness is 0.660, I'm going to choose 0.665. That's going to give me 5 thousandths of an inch below the bottom of my material to make sure I cut this circle all the way through. And I'm going to go ahead and click calculate. It's going to give me a message. It's going to say you're cutting all the way through your material. And there it is. Go ahead and click OK. So if we go to my pocket on the back side that I just created, I'm going to choose this pocket, which is the screw holes and back LED channel, which is this, which is already there. Let's go ahead and click that, and let's preview visible tool paths. So anything that's blue, including the 6 screw holes, which are under the 2.5 inch diameter plates I'm going to put on the top side, let's go ahead and preview all of that. So preview. So if we come over here to toolpath color, let's give that a yellow or global fill. So we can see that my machine is going to cut all of this out. It's going to cut this outside diameter, and we can see the black here. So if I double click on this white area, that's wasted material. So I can see that I have a channel, the depth of the thickness of my LED strip going all the way around. That's still an unknown. I have to play with that a little bit. We have these black circles here, which are going to go all the way through, which, like I said, are the diameter of my screws, which I'm going to have to cut off to make everything work. And then I have this pocket here, which is where my acrylic's going to sit. The acrylic part I cut in the last video is going to sit down and have a shelf or a lip to sit onto. Then I can figure out a way to attach that so it doesn't move, doesn't rotate, or whatever. I already have that in mind. My standoffs on the back side are going to come from these circles out to the wall, quote unquote the wall. And then I'm going to mount the drivers for the LED strips and the IR sensors. I'm going to mount one on one side and one on the other. So you can take the remote and go to one side and change the outside LED strip to, let's just say red, because the Korean flag is red and blue. So I want the inside circle, or the acrylic circle that fits in here, I want that lit up as red. And I want the outside diameter that's facing the wall, I want that to be blue. So that's my process. It is 4:09 a.m. Friday/Saturday morning. I'm going to save this and I'm going to get back to this sometime tomorrow/today. It's been fun. Like I said, I've been dealing with a client that's in another country, in another hemisphere. So that's my job. This is a project for a friend of mine. I'll get to it. Keep tuned. I don't know.